Welcome to Uhus Jugger Tutorials Quickhoots. Today I want to present a system of voting. If you ever have organized a tournament or if you are a team leader, then you might have stumbled upon the problem that now and then you need a vote. And sometimes it's quite a difficult decision, a personal decision where you want to have an anonymous vote. And that might be done online, but for example with teams it's much more recommended, of course, to do it close and personal and discuss it in person and then cast the vote after the decision. In medieval times, in monasteries, for example, they had the same problem. If they wanted to accept a monk into the rows or a nun, then of course they needed to vote on the decision whether this person should be accepted, if it wasn't introduced from above, of course. And they invented a system that, as said, is even used up to today in scientific societies here and there. I think it's quite a neat system. It's called Ballotage, wonderful French term, of course, or Kugelung in German. And it's simple, it's intelligent, it's easy to do everywhere, even on a tournament spontaneously. If you're there as a team and you have to accept a mercenary, for example, then you can cast the vote quickly. So for the Kugelung or for the Ballotage, I need a bag and I need marbles. Nice marbles, yes. Marbles in two colors, in fact, so I chose white ones and blue ones. Of course, white and blue are my team colors, so no wonder I choose blue and white. Now, how does it work? Everyone gets a pair of these marbles, one white and one blue. Everyone who wants to vote, every one of your players. And then they decide, do I want to accept the new player? Then I take the white marble. Do I want to not accept the player? Then I take the blue marble. And you don't choose your marbles openly by saying, oh, I take the white and I take the blue. No, that wouldn't be anonymous. That would be sort of, well, that wouldn't make sense. So what you actually do is you get both marbles, cover them with your hand, then you choose which marble you want and take one in one hand and the other in the other hand. That might be the easiest way. And the leader of the vote, he just passes around the bag or the vessel where the ballot is cast. Important is that the bag is not too small, that people can't reach really in and grab something in it, and that the opening here is a bit narrow for the same reason, and that it's not transparent, of course, so that no one can see which kind of marble you're dropping in, because that's the next step. You get the bag passed or the vessel passed, and then you put your hand in, not too deeply as said, so that you can't grab anything, and drop your marble into the bag and pass it on, and that's it. And at the end of the voting, the ballot is cast openly so that everyone can see it, and then everyone can see, okay, very nice. And the beauty, of course, is as well, cheating is hard because you can just count the marbles and you count the voters, and if there are 5 marbles and 5 voters, tops. If there are 5 marbles and 4 voters, someone has cheated, and you will have to vote again, of course. So it's easy to check. Okay, so we have in this example 1 blue and 4 white marbles, which should mean accepted because the majority is white, so yes. But now comes the catch, what I think is very nice. The catch is that if there's 1 no, you can even say 2, that's of course up to you, but in this example, if there's 1 no, then the vote is yes. But the person who cast the no can now stand up and argue why he or she cast no, why he's against introducing that player into the team, if he or she wants. If not, the cast is yes, it's accepted, no one knows who cast the no, because every player now puts back his marble into the bag. The player can stand up and argue, I don't want this other player because he's strange, whatever. So people can discuss, and then a second round of votes is cast. Everyone gets 2 marbles again and casts his vote as said 1 marble per person. Now, if we have the same result with 1 no and 4 white marbles, then the vote is yes. And there is no chance for other discussion. So you have 2 rounds of voting, and the second round is the finite round of voting, and that will be the result. Now what happens if I have 2 no's? So 2 blue marbles and only 3 white marbles. Now, when this happens, you can agree, before voting, of course, that any amount larger than 1, so 2 or more no's means no, because you don't want to have a rift in your team. You want to have a good atmosphere in your team. You don't want half of the team or almost half of the team no, I don't like him, and the other half, yay, cool player, welcome. So that wouldn't probably be good if you're a team chef and if you want to take care of the team. So discuss that in advance, whether 2 marbles mean no, or whether if there are 2 marbles, these 2 persons should get the chance to argue, and whether you want to have a second round. So by this system, you avoid lengthy discussions and more voting rounds. You will have some kind of a result. And even if a minority, even if 1 person utters concerns, this 1 person will have the possibility to utter concerns, and the others can rethink and can cast a vote against. But that's sort of the final binding vote. 1 no, pass. 2 no's, not passed. I used this voting system in my team, Uhus Jugger, when I founded it in January 2006, and later on when I wanted to see how my players stand with accepting in a person. If you have 10 players, you might think as a team master or team chief that, okay, they are pro and it's not a problem. But it might be that you have missed 2 voices who are just not up to it to utter their concerns openly, and so they have the chance to cast no anonymously. Or you have 1 player who has really good arguments, but who never got heard really. And this 1 player has now the chance, by casting 1 no vote, even if everyone else is for the new player, to utter his concerns. So I found it a nice way, an easy way, a historically interesting way. As I said, for monasteries and stuff, they did know what they do sometimes down there. And all you need is, as I said, a bag and marbles, so it has style to do it on a tournament. This was the Uhu. Thanks for watching, and yes, watch my other Uhus Jugger tutorials. Next one should be on tournament organization. Welcome. And of course, if you are interested in workshops, like beginners workshops, pro vapor, or in advanced workshops, for example, on tournament organization or team tactics or whatever, you are very welcome to drop me a note. Meet you on the field, hopefully soon.